Whew. Shalom, 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 family. First, giving all praises to the Father of lights, Yahweh, through the spirit and power of the throne of King David, servant of the Most High. All praises due. Peace and salutations, Royal House. Hope y'all ready for more of these nuggets coming out of the book of the Prophet Nathan. We already went through in the last video about the Salahic pause of the 82 billion years, so we got that squared away. So now what I want to do is I want to pick up where we left off in chapter 12, starting at verse 28. We just came through on the last one about man having dominion over man and the beast system and what it really means. So now you know that that system has been in place, and now you know why are you working overtime, why everybody rushing to get paid, why everybody killing and everything to try to make not money to pay to take care of themselves, but being greedy. See, Solomon exposed the greedy nature in mankind, not only just the men but the women that do anything, women that sell their damn kids by getting men pregnant, don't love the man, just open their legs because he got the bag. And then, you know, if he don't want to be with him and they can't pimp him or take his goddamn money, they take him to the court, see a beast. Or men that, you know, lay up and use women for money. You know what I mean? Had them doing all kind of things, and then so they can get paid. See, that's the beast system. All that's intact. You know, who needs, you know, $110 million to throw a damn ball, man? All right. Who needs $140 million over 10 years to they could knock the baseball out of a park? Hey, that's cool. All right. But who need a contract of, you know, $80 million because they could put the ball in the hoop? Shit, you can get a dog to do that. But that's the beast system. All right. Meanwhile, you got teachers, men out there risking their lives, working, you know, barely making ends meet. You got teachers, ones that's trying to educate kids so that they can, you know, them the ones that need contracts for money like that. They the ones making a difference in people's lives. But this fucking wicked ass system they got, that's the beast system. And a lot of them, man, all of them that's on that shit now, them the ones that's going to pay. Telling you, when they go to universal basic income and break these motherfuckers down to 1,000 units a month from $140 million, hey man, these motherfuckers going to be jumping off of roofs, laying under damn tractors and shit, getting run over, blowing their damn brains out, slitting their wrists. They're going to be doing all kind of shit, man, because they ain't going to be able to handle it, see? Because they got addicted to the money. That money is like crack, see? It's like crack cocaine. They addicted to it. So this is where we left off, all right? I'm going to pick up in verse 28. It says, "Now behold, when the Most High came unto Nathan in the true and sacred all-powerful name of Yahweh, Nathan was caught up unto the third heaven. And when the Lord revealed unto Nathan of the mark of the beast being the number of Solomon," the mark of the beast is a number of Solomon. It's right here. "Nathan had then descended unto the second heaven. And at this time the Lord set Nathan in the center of the Tacoma dome, which is within the first heaven. And the Lord whispered unto Nathan the prophet, saying, I know that thou hast a need to be strong and speak boldly to thy king, and that without offense." Verse 29. "And I know, Nathan, that you are a prophet, and I know David is your king. And I have showed you what you must say unto David. And I know that they seemeth to be harsh things, for you must go and tell him that he has done evil, and that the child also that is born unto him shall surely die. And I know that you think that you must appear to be strong and stand in front of your king and speak these words of prophecy. For you know us not how the king will respond to the words which you shall say. Therefore you fear," right? You fearest. Verse 31. "But what thinketh you, Nathan? Of whom will your king listen to? A giant champion, strong man of war, or a prophet?" And Nathan remembered what David did to the giant Philistine Goliath of Gath. And Nathan said, "A prophet." And the Lord said, then are you the right man for the job? He said, who is David going to listen to, you or Goliath? Basically, he said, he'll listen to me. He said, then you the right man for the job. You ain't got to be tiptoeing, all right? Verse 33, notwithstanding, lest you should offend him. Now listen to this, y'all. He said, if you offend David, he said, go to the sea and cast a hook and take up the fish, the fish that first comes up. And when you have opened his mouth, you will find a piece of money. That take and give unto him for me and thee. Remember Yahushua did that to the disciples? He said, render unto Caesar, that would be a Caesar's, and render unto the power, that would be of the powers. He said, go down there, and I think it was Peter went down and got the fish, and the money was caught up in his gills. Yeah, well, that's where this comes from. That's where that came from, why Yahushua said that. Okay, now we going into chapter 13. Now Nathan the prophet indeed went to the sea, and Nathan the prophet indeed cast a hook. And when the first fish came up, Nathan did open the fish's mouth. But look here. And behold, there was no piece of money in the fish's mouth. Most High always play it, man. Verse 3. Now when Nathan the prophet saw that there was not any money in the fish's mouth, he cast the fish back into the water. Now behold, when the fish went into the water, the whole sea became very troubled, insomuch that the water splashed all over Nathan the prophet. So because Nathan was obedient, all right, he was looking for physical money, right? Nah, that ain't what it was. See? Let me show you how the Most High paid Nathan. Watch what he do. Verse 5. Now when Nathan the prophet was made wet, his eyes of the spirit were open, because the spirit of the power moved upon the face of Nathan the prophet. So the Most High, his money is wisdom, knowledge, right? Verse 6. And the water in the sea was made clean and became crystal clear, insomuch that Nathan the prophet could see all the way to the bottom and across to the far end of the sea. And Nathan the prophet looked, and behold, the sea was made still, to be at peace, as if the sea itself had rested, and there was a great calm. Right? Verse 8. For the sea was no longer troubled, because the Spirit moved in agreement with the water. And Nathan the prophet was able to look and see every fish in the sea. Verse 9. And behold, the Spirit of the Lord was present at the place, insomuch that even the fish began to sing out and shout and give thanks and praise power for his goodness. Now, while the fish were able to speak, because they were shouting unto power and rejoicing with thanksgiving, the fish that Nathan the prophet had caught with the hook spake out at Nathan and said, why do you torment us, fishermen? Y'all imagine a fish talking to your ass? And Nathan the prophet said, I am no fisherman. And at that moment, a man with an image like unto the Son of the Power came walking on the water across the sea. And as he walked on the water toward Nathan, the prophet said, you have well said, I am no fisherman, for you shall be a fisher of men. And that saidest thou truly. Sound familiar? Y'all notice it was Yahushua in the spirit, right? Verse 1. Now as the man that was like unto the Son of the Power was walking closer toward Nathan the prophet, the one like unto the Son of the Power began to pull other men up out of the sea. So now he's pulling men out the water. Okay, verse 2. We're in chapter 14 now. Now when he had pulled some people out of the sea, then the sea began to be troubled again, and so much that Nathan the prophet thought he would not see any of these people again. And Nathan the prophet wondered exceedingly at who these people in the sea and on the sea were. And he shouted aloud and he said, who are all these people that you pulled out of the troubled sea? And the man with the appearance of the Son of the Power said, these men have all come here to learn of thee and receive wisdom of thee. thou art an ensample unto these men to teach them the ways of the word. For I say unto you, you are Nathan the prophet, and all of these earnestly desire to follow in the footsteps of thee to be prophets. So Nathan was the father prophet to these prophets that were pulled out the water. Verse 4. But as surely as they shall learn from thee, you must first learn from them. The one may not be any greater than the other. That one may not be any greater than the other. But that my servants, the prophets, shall learn from each other. Salak. I said that was Yahushua. I meant that was the Father. All right. It says one like unto the Son of Man. So, Salak, please accept that correction. All right. Look at what he said. But as surely as they shall learn from you, you must learn from them, that one may not be any greater than the other, but that my servants, the prophets, shall learn from each other. That's the Father, okay? Verse 5. And the one like unto the Son of Power said unto those prophets he had pulled out of the sea, this is my servant Nathan the prophet. Introduce yourselves unto him. But behold, and howbeit, they had one of them which spake for all of them, as if they all were one. And the one prophet spake for them all. And he said, I will first introduce you unto Emmanuel. For he cometh before us all. And he verily cometh even before you. And he is him of whom thou seest like unto the Son of the Power. He it is which pulled us out of the troubled sea, and he it is whom standeth here in the midst of us. For he is with us, and he is the power. Now, of these prophets among me, there is Habakkuk, and Haggai, and Malachi, and Zechariah. There is Zephaniah, and Micah, Nahum, Hosea, Obadiah, Amos, and Joel, and Daniel, and Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Jonah, and these others I cannot give unto you the names of them all, for some of them have come before you, and some of them will not come until it is the last day. And in the last day, these shall come and shall speak the words of truth, and shall be killed for righteousness' sake, that they might receive the greater blessing, and that the purposes and plan of the power might be made manifest through us and among us. So all of the major and minor prophets basically was coming out of that water so that Nathan could teach them. This is why their ministries, and this is why when you read Zephaniah or Zechariah, they all sound the same, because they all received that wisdom from Nathan. All right. Verse 7. And their inheritance shall be the kingdom of the power and the kingdom of heaven. And who is their leader? Listen to what he says. Verse 8. And I am Isaiah. So Isaiah was the spokesman for all of them. He's the major prophet. Okay. Now, verse 9. And I cannot give unto you the names of the prophets which will come in the last days, because I cannot speak for them. Emmanuel have not suffered me to speak for them. So there's prophets even in this time that we living in that are going to be revealed. Okay. Y'all get that? Told y'all this book is chock full of goodies. Now, verse 10. The prophets which were before you, I shall speak of, and I can tell you their names, but I will not, because they already know their names, because you already know their names. And why should you get stuck looking back and be made like unto a pillar of salt? But of the prophets in the days past, and of the prophets I have named, and of Emmanuel, yea, I, Isaiah, shall speak of them. For the Lord shall do this thing through me, yea, even through the mouth of Isaiah, because Emmanuel liveth and abideth in me. Yea, and Emmanuel liveth in the heart of Isaiah. Now unto you, Nathan the prophet, I declare unto you to know this. The word of the Lord is given, and the word of the Lord is given unto us, unto all of us. And the word of the Lord is too much to be contained in one man, or one letter, or one creature, or one book, Wherefore it is given that there should be other men with the word of the Lord, other letters with the word of the Lord, other creatures with the word of the Lord, and other books with the word of the Lord. The Most High's word is too vast and too deep to be contained with one man. That's why he had prophet after prophet after prophet to prophesy the coming things that are going to happen, all right, concerning Judah and Israel. All right, verse 16. But in the beginning of the manifestation of the purpose and plan of the power unto the children of men, in the beginning there shall a book with the word of the Lord go forth. And this book shall serve the purpose of Emmanuel as the root of the faith which was preached from ancient times, and it shall remain firm in you all of your days. And it shall not take root in the hearts of the children of the power forever, that they might bring forth. Wait a minute, let me get back. And it shall take root in the hearts of the children of the power forever, that they might bring forth fruit unto our Lord Emmanuel, who shall suffer himself to be brought even to death for our past, present, and future sins. So when it says our Lord Emmanuel, that's Yahushua, because the proof is, it says, who shall suffer himself to be brought even to death for our past. Father not getting put to death. Emmanuel did. That's why when you read the scriptures, especially when Yahushua rose, call him Emmanuel. Okay, verse 18. Now I am not finished sharing this hidden truth with you, my friend. Verse 19. Power have given a heart unto David your king, but within the heart of David is the love of money. Ouch. Now the love of money is the root of all evil, but the love of power is the root of the word that I shall speak unto you, and the word is good, because the word is the power, and power is love, and power is light, and light is good, and in light is no darkness at all. For light has been divided from the darkness, and darkness has its place. But light has no place because light cannot dwell in a place. Therefore light has no dwelling place, but rather light moves quick. And if light is to dwell, it shall only dwell in a way, and because light cannot dwell in a place, it shall only dwell in a way, and Emmanuel is the way. And I am Isaiah, a spirit of truth. I am a spirit of truth, because the words that I speak unto you, they are truth. And when the true words of these spiritual things are manifested into a physical realm, then shall these words of hidden truth all come and join together. For they are living words, and they shall be likened as unto a seed that shall be planted on good ground. And the seed shall grow and bring life from the earth, and the life shall be the light, and the light be of men, and the men shall be of the power, and then power shall be with us. Now, this is the mystery of the faith of Emmanuel, who loves us all enough to give his life in exchange for our lives. But of this we shall understand more when we come to paradise, that we might teach those that are in prison. Now we go into chapter 15. Now behold, I am Isaiah, the spirit which speaketh unto you, Nathan the prophet. And when Emmanuel saith that it is my time, then shall I be born of a woman, and I will plant this seed deep into the earth, that it might take root. But I need you, Nathan the prophet, to till the ground and make the earth ready to receive my seed. Will you do this thing for me, Nathan the prophet? And Nathan the prophet said, yes, I will do it. For Nathan now understood what he must do. And Isaiah said, I am not finished sharing this hidden truth with you, my friend. Now behold, Nathan the prophet, take heed to this moment, for these words that I say unto you are spirit, and I am Isaiah the spirit, and I am the spirit of the prophet of the Lord that shall come in the flesh, as the son of Amos, and I scatter his seed on the earth. For thus it is written in heaven, and it shall be written on earth. Verse 7. And I said unto Emmanuel, even unto the Father, let me go and speak for all of them. And it pleaseth the Lord continually, that I cannot cease in speaking for him, for this cause came I forth. and I am sent to speak on behalf of all of the prophets of the power, save those few which are reserved for the very last days. Now I say unto you, Nathan the prophet, that your king is David the psalmist, and as much as the Lord hath given you the gift of prophecy, even so hath the Lord given your king David the gift of psalms. Now the words of your king David the psalmist are water for my seed, which is the word of the power. The words of David are water for those who thirst after righteousness. And thou must take heed, Nathan the prophet. Take heed to store up and reserve all of David's words, and of those which are psalms you must gather them together and divide them into a book. All right. And they must be gathered together into a book, whereby thou shalt mark them all individually and distinctly, separately, and completely, having 150 chapters. So this is why there's 150 Psalms. Nathan had to break all that shit down and number them and everything. So he's the one that arranged the Psalms. All right. Verse 13. Now take heed, Nathan. The Psalms of David are water. The words that I speak are spirit, and the words that Emmanuel shall speak shall be written with his own blood. And behold, yea, behold, the blood of Emmanuel shall be pure, without spot and without blemish. All right. And just as the waters prevailed upon the earth for 150 days in the day of Noah, while he and his family and the animals were on the ark, take heed, Nathan, the waters prevailed upon the earth for 150 days. Wherefore thou, Nathan, the prophet, shall divide the psalms of your king unto 150 chapters, that the psalms of David shall be as the water of the days of Noah, and the water of the psalms of power shall water my seed, that I shall scatter upon the earth, that the waters of the psalms might prevail over the seed, and cause it to grow, and that it may take root and become a tree. And when the waters nourish the seed, until the seed becomes a tree, then behold, Emmanuel shall be hanged upon the tree, and the blood of Emmanuel shall cover the entire tree. For the blood of Emmanuel shall be shed over the tree. And our Father hath planted a seed into my spirit, and I say, that is the word of the power. And it shall spring forth a prophetic utterance, such as was never before heard, nor ever shall be heard in all the earth. Wherefore this mighty utterance of perfection and completion shall be written and recorded by the hands of man, whereby it has pleased the Father that it might bring forth much fruit. And the seed shall take root into the good ground of the earth, and it shall grow into a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth much fruit in due season. Wherefore, take heed. Thou must take heed that thou diligently savest and storest up the Psalms of David the king until 150 chapters. For thy Psalms of David shall prevail upon the earth as the water to water the seed. One more time. For thy Psalms of David shall prevail upon the earth as the water to water the seed. For the Psalms of thy king David shall be the rivers of water, which the tree shall be planted by. Wherefore, when Emmanuel shall be hanged upon the tree, the words of the water shall flow forth out of the mouth of Emmanuel in the language of Isaiah, which is the language of the Spirit, because of the bloody wounds of Emmanuel. And the Spirit and the water and the blood shall come together and agree as one. Now, the 12 tribes of Israel shall have many more descendants, and Emmanuel hath chosen those that have pleased the Father. For he hath chosen one of each tribe to be disciples of the Hamashiach, which is Emmanuel. Not that Emmanuel is a disciple of the Hamashiach, but that Emmanuel is the Hamashiach. Now, of the 12 disciples of the Hamashiach, one of them shall betray the Hamashiach. Wherefore, on the 11 men of the 12 men that the Hamashiach by the will of the Father hath chosen are truly the disciples of Hamashiach. Verse 30, and power shall multiply the 11 men who shall be found faithful, that they might be fruitful. And he shall multiply the number of the men by the number of the day that he had made them, and the first command them to multiply. Now behold, that day is the sixth day, because it was the sixth day of the creation of the earth, in which the power created man upon the earth. And power have commanded men since then to be fruitful and multiply. But it should not be thought that power have commanded men to be fruitful and multiply again, but rather that the command of the power have never changed. Wherefore, the number of faithful men, power shall multiply by the number of that day that power has said unto the men to multiply, and this command hath power commanded and ordained, that men might be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion and bring forth much fruit and be blessed. Whereby power hath multiplied the number 11 by the number 6 to establish the number 66. Now the tree shall bear 4 branches, which shall span the reigns of 4 kings of Judah, grow forth into 4 gospels, and cover the north, east, south, and west. And all 4 of the branches shall shoot forth 10 twigs, which shall be for an understanding which comes from the heart of Isaiah's prophetic ministry. And these 40 twigs shall cover the earth during the 40 acceptable years of the Lord. And as the book of Isaiah shall be the heart of the shadow of the book of life, Yahweh is salvation. Now, as the tree that have 4 branches has shot forth 40 twigs, and as the number of twigs, which is 40, have been for a waiting period for Noah, Moses, the children of Israel, Nineveh, and others, even the Hamashiach, even so, because every tree can only bring forth fruit in its own season, the 40 twigs of the tree of life are for a time of waiting. For we must all wait on the Lord, and we must all be ready as much as we must all be found faithful. That's why I always tell y'all to hang on, man. We in that time. Verse 40, whereby we shall all wait on the tree of life to produce for us this good and acceptable fruit. And as it produces much good fruit for us, then we shall partake of the fruit of the tree of life, which hath in due season produced the good fruit thereof for us. And as we freely eat of the fruit that it hath produced for us, it shall then begin to produce good fruit through us, because that this good fruit now abideth in us. So did y'all get it? I know that was a lot. David's words are considered water for the seed that the prophets planted. So think about it. What did he say? He said that, and we're going to cut it off right here. We're now at chapter 16. All right, we're now at chapter 16. Look at some of the things that the seeds that the prophets planted. All right. Let me give you a seed. Let me give you a seed. Let's go to Jeremiah 30. Verse 8. It says, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. But they shall serve the Lord their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. So the Most High promised to raise David up. That's a seed. That's a seed. The Most High said it. So was he lying? Was he lying? No. I'm right here. I'm right here. But see, who's pointing this out, though? Who else is pointing this out? So this is why these clowns get on here scoffing and talking that shit, and they don't know what the fuck they saying. This book of Nathan is breaking everything down. Now, the words of David is water, all right? And that water been circulating, all right? 150 sections, the same way there was 150 days that the water prevailed on the earth after Noah. And after that water receded, then shit started to sprout up. That's why he said, I'm going to raise David up onto you. Why? Because the waters have receded and now it's time for the harvest. All right? So we here, y'all. Fuck everybody that don't understand or don't want to understand or want to keep scoffing. All right? We still got some scoffers on here, but fuck them. All right? You can't deny what's in front of your fucking face, right? Now, if I ain't pretty enough for you, if I ain't pretty enough, then I apologize for that, you know. But hey, I'm all you get. Take me or leave me. So, we're going to go ahead and chip this off. I hope y'all enjoying this breakdown. More to come. We're going to pick up in chapter 16 on the next Get Down. All right? Want to give all praises to the Father of lights, Yahweh, through the spirit and power of the throne of his servant David. All praises due. All right? I want to encourage y'all to meditate. All right? If you got to watch this over and over to get it soaked in, get it in your nugget. All right? And I'll be back on the next go round. All right? All praises to y'all. All praises to Yahweh, the Father. All right? And peace and blessings to the royal house of David. All right? That was a wet one. All right? Talk to y'all in a minute. This is your king and shepherd, and I'm out. Shalom.